Let's make a movie, or some training content anyway. Hello, I'm Julian Franklin, Amy's Digital Communications Manager. I'm responsible for creating short explanatory films, animations, 3D models, and e-learning content for the Learning and Development team. I also occasionally create content for the Communications team. I thought it would be helpful to raise awareness of the kinds of communication models we can now produce, and also to give some idea as to the structure and approach I take when developing content for those of you who want specific topics covered. Any project requiring the Learning and Development team's assistance needs to be approved. If you specifically want my assistance, you'll need to contact my manager, David Long. Anyone else in the Learning and Development team can be approached through Richard Higgs. How do we start? Here is the first thing anyone who wants any content needs to decide upon: a good, clear script. Without a script, there is no knowing what the key takeaway points are, what graphics, text prompts, video or animated content may be employed, how long the video might take, and do we want to test people's knowledge of the content? If so, the script must cover the topics to be examined later. The script becomes an audio audition. Once a script has been submitted to me, I create a voice recording. This is recorded using semi-professional equipment in a sound-suppressed room. Once the audio has been edited and processed through software, the initial recording is sent to the client to audition it. The audio audition is tested out. Very occasionally the audition passes first time, but usually, when the recording is heard, the originator of the script decides that it's perhaps too repetitive, too dense, not clear enough, or does not come to the point quickly enough. That, of course, is the whole point of a first draft recording. The second script is usually a good deal better, and so is the second audio audition. When the client is satisfied that the tone of the script and that key points are clear, we then have a sense of how long the video is going to be. Ever sat through a long and tedious training experience? Ever been stuck with someone and thought, please get to the point? Or, is this information overload? We've all been there. So it's a good idea to break ideas down into small bite-sized sections. It is far better to have several small videos than have an hour-long information fest. It is kinder to the individual that has to absorb the information if it is broken down into manageable chapters. It also makes it easy to update content when a portion of it becomes out of date. You only have to pull one chapter and replace it with another 2-minute version. Content and chapters are agreed. What's next? Next, we agree on the tone. Is this going to be an animated production, or are we using real-world video footage and photography? Is this a light-hearted piece, or something which needs to be taken extremely seriously? Now we can properly get started. I'll prepare the first draft, using the agreed audio, and put in suitable video, animation, still images, and text support, and then ask the client to sense-check it. After a few days, I would expect to hear back from the client to either give the chapter produced the green light, or ask for any changes. Next comes Chapter 2, followed by a review, and so on and so forth for each subsequent chapter. At each stage, the produced content is sense-checked and approved by the client. Any end-of-learning examination content can be added at any time to the schedule of work. User acceptance testing. Depending upon the purpose of the content you wanted me to make, it may be advisable to have a small group of people test out the content for look, feel, and accuracy. It is not a good idea to have 30 or 40 people do this. It's an unmanageable number of people, and you may be sure with that many people you'll find individuals who cannot all agree on what is good, what is bad, and what is simply unacceptable. Having a user acceptance testing group of 6 to 10 people is generally manageable. The expectation is that the client will be the one responsible for gathering the feedback, consolidating it, and proceeding based on the information they have gathered. When the video has been cleansed of any minor defects, it should be ready for launch. The comms team will review the produced content to make sure that it is on brand and complies with company messaging policy. Once approved by comms, it will be uploaded to the LearnUpon system we use for all our training products. It may also be produced and uploaded to YouTube with restricted viewing or unrestricted public viewing. This would almost certainly require the comms team's agreement. Let's just run through that again in slow motion. We'll start with a concept. A chat in Teams is ideal for this purpose. We'll identify the audience, what the message is supposed to be, the key takeaways, the style, and the tone. The client will draft an initial script and send it to me to record. The client will then hear what it sounds like and decide whether the tone and/or content needs to be modified. Once the audio is agreed, I'll go ahead and build you your first video draft. When the video or videos are agreed, they may be sense-checked by a small UAT team. Comms will have the final sign-off on any content produced. Once that is done, we'll get the video uploaded where people can see it. I hope that's a useful video for you. I hope to hear from you soon and start working on your projects with you in the very near future.